Hi guys, welcome back. In today's lab, we will configure Windows virtual machine with the web server application in the Microsoft Azure Cloud. So let's get started. So the first thing we do, we go to create a resource. We click create virtual machine. And for today's lab, we'll create our new resource group. In my case, I have Lab04, which is already here. And I will give this virtual machine a name, Lab04 Windows, or you can give any name. I'll make this the web servers. I will keep rest of the settings default. Region is US. I will not use any availability option at this point. As I said, we'll come back to this later. In order to select image, I need to select Windows Server. So you can have a variety of choices: 2016 Windows Server, 2019, 2022. Or if you want to click on see all images, you're going to get more variety. But for now, I will just select Windows Server 2016 data center. I will keep everything else as default. I will give a username Lab04 user, or I will create a generic username which I have Lab00 user. I will use it for this purpose. Okay, so after this, because it's a Windows virtual machine, in order for us to connect back to the machine once it is up and running from the internet, we need to have inbound port open for RDP, which is remote desktop connection, the run on port 3389. So I need to make sure I have this open. So I will say, yeah, I need that as a part of my inbound rules. As you can see, you have a warning here, because if you allow this port to be open, so the machine is going to be connected to the internet. So you are responsible for managing the security of your machine. The rest I will keep as default. I'm not going to change many changes here. One thing I will do, I will add an additional disk here. I can create an additional disk on my Windows virtual machine. You can give any name to your machine, and if you want to source type is empty disk. You want to change the size, you can change size, but for now I will just keep it whatever size I have as a default. And encryption, I will use the default setting of the platform managed key. And also delete disk with a VM, I will select yes, and let's go and go to next. Networking, I will keep everything else as default, and the management, I will just keep everything default. I will go to advanced, and here I will install an extension of the web server. I will use a PowerShell script to install a web server on my virtual machine. So I click select an extension. Similar, just we did same thing for the Linux machine earlier. We're going to do the same thing for the Windows machine now. So I will select custom script extension, click next, and it will give you, I need to upload my script, the PowerShell script, to the Microsoft Azure. So I say browse. In order to run a script, you need to store that script in the Microsoft Azure. And the way we store things in Microsoft Azure, we need a storage account. So it seems like I don't have a storage account. So I will create a one for this lab. I will say Lab04. I will give it a name. Let's say web server. And I will use in the Lab04 resource group. I click OK. It would take a couple of moments for the Microsoft Azure to create this storage account. Once it is ready, I can go back and upload my file, the PowerShell script, to the Microsoft Azure. So seems like it's still running. Let's give a couple of more minutes, and we will continue with the uploading our PowerShell script to the Microsoft Azure Cloud. So it seems like it's completed. So let's go back, and I need to select it, and then I need to create a container in which I need to upload my script. So I will say, I will give it a name, web server. Okay, so I click create, and once it's there, then I can just go and upload my script. So the script right now is on my local machine. So I have a very simple script. I save it as a PowerShell extension. Is install Windows feature, name web server, and include management tool. So that's all I have in my script. So I save it, and I click OK to select it, and I upload it to my storage account. So once it is uploaded, as you can see, if I refresh, so I see my PowerShell script is here. I select, click select on it. So now I can see the script file as a part of the extension during the creation of the virtual machine, this web server.ps1 will be executed, and this script will install a Microsoft IIS server, which is the web server for Windows, will be installed on my virtual machine. So I click create, and I will just do review and create. Let's wait a minute, and as see the validation passed. Just click create now. So again, it is going to take a couple of minutes. So I will pause my video here, and I will come back once it is ready. As you can see, my deployment is completed. So let's go and click on the go to resource. So I have my Windows machine is up and running. As you can see, the status is running, and operating system is Windows 2016 Data Center Edition, and I have my public IP. So let's click on public IP address. So we need to connect back to the machine. In order to connect back to the machine, because the Windows machine, so we set up SSH, we will be using the RDP, which is remote desktop client. We enter the IP address of the computer we want to connect, which is our virtual machine in the Microsoft Azure Cloud. So we click connect, and once it's connected, it will looking for the username and password. So I will say I will use username and password Lab04 user. That's the user I created. Okay, and I can click OK. You'll get the warning, and you click OK, and you will be connected to the machine shortly. Okay, so as you can see, I have my server is up and running. It's all green. So let's take an IP address, and again, it's not going to work because I will let you guys think about a minute, and then I will explain it to you what we needed and additional steps. If you remember from the previous lab, you don't have any port open for port 80 for this particular machine. So I need to create an additional inbound rule for HTTP, which is port 80, and I will just click add. And once it's add the rule into my virtual machine list of inbound rule, then I will be able to connect back to the machine. So if I go back again and hit enter, so if I do the refresh here first, let's see if I get the proper rule into my inbound rules. As you can see, I have now a rule which is priority number 310 port 80. That's the name I gave. It's a port 80 per protocol TCP. Right now I have open up for any just for the easiness, but in real world you need to make sure you restrict it to whatever services you want, and from source or destination based on your requirement. So let's go back again. Here you go. As you can see, now I got the default web page for the Windows Internet Information Services. So that's the server we installed during the deployment by using an extension on the Windows virtual machine. I hope you like the video. So in coming videos, we'll come back with more challenges and how to solve them, and provide the solution using the lab and the demonstration in the Microsoft Azure Cloud. Thank you.